talk about today's businesses is they can easily be called a global workforce, a global era, because there are no time zones, there are no working hours, and the dominating problem of today's workforce is the digital overload, because from the morning is one technological device substituting the other technological device. It's a desktop, laptop, and then a tablet, and while all of these are complemented with a smartphone. So it's hard when you come to talk about whether it can be managed. It can be managed if you're able to teach yourself adaptation and moderation. It's like an amalgamation of all these two things. You need to teach yourself a strategic use of these digital devices, as well as complement them with energy enhancing activities, because we're always stuck in front of a technology. Our brain is using the energy to devote to that era, and the entire body is letting go of its own energy producing or enhancing activities. So we need to redivert ourselves. It doesn't have to be drastic, it doesn't have to be too major. It can start off, for example, taking from a contingency. We can start off with giving short breaks. For example, start off with checking the entire e-mode communication and let go of your phone, let go of your laptop, let go of your desktop for like 15 minutes. Give yourself 15 minutes. In those 15 minutes, you can either sit or vision or do whatever you want, to go take a nap, or go take a walk, do whatever. Just do not try and touch any device. Once you've successfully cleared that 15 minutes of frame, and you are able to do that for like a good amount of time, say it a week, say it 15 days, that's your trigger point of actually enhancing the 15 minutes gap to, let's say, 20 minutes or 25 minutes. So slowly and slowly you have to decide your own, because no one can cause the addiction to go away. It's you're the boss of your own self and your own activities. Therefore, it's a game of conscious control. You have to teach yourself moderation. You have to teach yourself that I have to be strategic, and you have to learn to identify what's harmful for me and what's not. To label it as fake personas, I think would be too drastic, because nothing is fake when it comes to your own self. Even at the present, whatever I may be saying or whatever I may not be saying, it may be residing in our unconscious self, and therefore it comes into our conscious self. So calling it fake would be too general of a term. It's basically a concept of perception. We all have perceptions, and when we're talking about a self that we are portraying on the social media, we're usually portraying our ideal self. Everyone has an ideal self and a real self. Now that ideal self is based on, the one who we inspire the most, the one who we perceive as the most successful, the one who we want to be like. There are characteristics that we want to change in ourselves. That, for example, it can be professional, it could be personal, it could be anything. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's fake. It does mean that we can inspire ourselves, and these are something that we connect ourselves with. Fact and fiction can be separated through consistency and transparency. If you see that there is a discrepancy in our behavior that is way too large, way too significant. For example, one day I was supporting A, then the next day I'm supporting Z. There is too large of a discrepancy, and that is where we can, highlight that, okay, this is something way not, synchronized with our original self. That's where you can differentiate or distinguish fact and fiction. But then again, it doesn't have to be fiction altogether. It's coming out from our own self. So there is something that's in our unconscious self that connects with the fiction, and therefore that fiction becomes fact in a way. When we talk about management of an addiction, be it technology or be it drug addiction. Since it is technology we're talking about, we can take principles derived from behavioral treatments. For example, from cognitive behavioral treatment, we can teach ourselves to identify the triggers, the causes that lead to these addictions and these cravings to indulge in a particular experience or an action. Once we identify these triggers, we have to either learn to manage them, adapt to them, or supplement them with something else. That's one way of doing it. The other way, from motivational interviewing, we can, we can create our own visionary board. Now that visionary board can be, where is our life right now and where do I want my life to go? And then we can study what is the difference. What is that difference? Analyze it and try to see why is that difference there and what can I do to achieve where I want to be. And from that perspective, it's basically a motivational, structured conversation with self or with someone else who can actually make us see that our current lifestyle may not be leading us to that heightened self where we want to see ourselves as. Third can be contingency. From the contingency system, we can derive that, the 15 minutes break that I was talking about, give yourself a 15 minutes break from using technology. That 15 minutes may be too less to a person who's not addicted, but to a person who's addicted, even 5 minutes, it's too much, because there's so much fear and anxiety that's prevalent for an addict. Therefore, that 15 minutes is a lot. We have to teach the addicts that you have to learn to reward your own self, be it 5 minutes. If you're starting with 5 minutes, if you're starting with 2 minutes, it doesn't matter. Just start, let go of the device, learn to complement these things with other energy enhancing activities, and then do something else. Reward yourself. That reward does not have to be too drastic. That reward can be anything. Go eat an ice cream, go talk to a friend, go take a nap, do anything. Just do something that helps you, motivates you in sticking to your contingency plan. They can be reversed if you actually engage in a healthy lifestyle, but they have to be forced, because when we're talking about managing an addiction, it's a game of conscious self-control. Conscious self-control, you have to push yourself to a healthier lifestyle. You have to take principles from behavioralism, from different therapies, in order to make yourself see what is healthy and what is not. And once obviously you start moving towards the healthier way, your brain can change.